Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time to start handing out new nicknames, because Rasmus Dahlin is the lean, mean, Swedish machine, and the Buffalo Sabres are deserving of all of our respect at the moment. Man, this team has been fantastic. If you head over to the NHL standings and you look at where things are right now, the Buffalo Sabres are first overall in the Atlantic Division, and they are fourth overall in the National Hockey League. 69 games, 92 points. Talk about Jarmo Kekalainen coming in here and running up a storm. The Buffalo Sabres are the NHL's hottest team. Let's go out there and take a look at some numbers over here. The Sabres on their Instagram account went out there and posted this, that their 32-6-2 record is the best 40-game stretch in the NHL since the 1995-1996 Detroit Red Wings, people. The Red Wings, the legacy Red Wings from 30 years ago. No team has had a better 40-game stretch since then. 32-6-2. How ridiculous is that? Meanwhile, when you go over to Rasmus Dahlin, the lean, mean Swedish machine, we had Elliotte Friedman go out there and speak out on the Fan Hockey Show yesterday, saying this: Dahlin is definitely getting a reputation as one of the NHL's meanest players. And honestly, when you watch Dahlin, and you pay close attention to him and the way that he moves around, it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, obviously, when you watch him play, you can see the talent, you can see the skill, you can see the offense. I mean, let's just go out there and review it right here. Rasmus Dahlin this season has 62 points in 65 games played. He's on pace for a 70-point year, which would be the second time he had ever done that in his National Hockey League career. That's pretty good, I'd say. But when you watch Dahlin, when he's not producing points, when he's in his own zone, when the play is already dead, when the opponent gets a little bit antsy, that's when Dahlin pushes back. This guy has an attitude, and it is awesome to watch, not just as a spectator of a non-Buffalo team, but as just a hockey-loving fan in general. This guy gives a damn about his Buffalo squad. He's been the captain for 2 seasons now. I'd say there's no better fit than him as the C on this team. You could debate Alex Tuch, maybe some other names, but who knows if Alex Tuch is even going to come back. He has a lot of reason to, by the way, considering how good this team has been. But when you take a look at the reputation of Dahlin getting to this point, yeah, obviously Buffalo Sabres fans are going to be happy with that. As long as he's not out there blasting kneecaps like a certain defender for Anaheim, that's a good thing. I'm okay with mean. Let's just not cross over into dirty. Leave that for Boston and people named Marchand or Tkachuk. Dahlin definitely learned the quote-unquote art of the sneaky dirty cross-check from Marchand the hard way, but so far he's avoided adding the really dirt-cheap shots and weird extracurricular stuff that gets players suspended. Hopefully he continues to avoid that while still getting on the nerves of the other team. Excellent. As long as we aren't seen as the Charlestown Chiefs, I guess I'm good. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. Another reply says, good. Dahlin has been a target since he entered the NHL at 18. Glad he's pushing back. The Dahlin to Josh Allen comparison. Okay, that's a really, really fun one to watch. Hopefully, Rasmus Dahlin can elevate his game in the postseason like Josh Allen does, even if he doesn't necessarily get the same results. We also had ourselves some other stats that I think are worthwhile to pay attention to for the Buffalo Sabres. Take a look at their subreddit. Just reading some of the posts over here really gets you going into how good this team really is. Here's a post. The Buffalo Sabres might be the greatest bandwagon team ever. Do their fans want this? I'd probably say yeah. Buffalo Sabres fans are probably happy to see their team doing as well as they are. Best 40-game stretch in the NHL since the 95-96 Red Wings. And then you have these two, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Alex Lyon, back-to-back shutouts against Vegas and San Jose. The fact that these guys have really started to come into their own as a goaltending tandem this year has been nothing short of spectacular. I actually ended up picking both of them up in my primary fantasy league because Sergei Bobrovsky, I don't know if y'all noticed, but that guy's been absolutely terrible. Lyon and Luukkonen, these guys, they've been doing some pretty good work. What is the nickname for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen? They call him UPL, they call him 6K, right? Because there's 2 Ks in each one of the words in his names. That's pretty great. The Buffalo Sabres, 32-6-2 in their last 40 games. Let's go out there and take a look at some of the narratives here. That is indeed an insane stat. Let's hope we have a better ending to our season than those Red Wings did. I remember that Cup Finals. The Devils swept them and made it look easy while they did it. However, that was the beginning of the Red Wings dynasty in a way, which would last 14 years until their defeat in 2009. Sounds good to me. Let's just say, hypothetically, the Buffalo Sabres make the Stanley Cup Final. Let's say they end up getting to that spot. They get swept in the finals by, I don't know, Vegas or something, and then they go on a 20-year run of playoff success and multiple cups and back-to-back finals appearances? I'd say that's a pretty good payoff after missing out on the playoffs for 15 years. From 2011 all the way to 2026, now we are starting to see the Buffalo Sabres become what we thought they could become. With all the names that were drafted and brought onto this team over the past decade and a half, it's kind of funny that this is the team to get it done. No Jack Eichel, no Sam Reinhart, no Casey Middlestad or Alex Nylander, but instead you got Tage Thompson, Dahlin, Tuck, and Ryan McLeod going out there. Speaking about that, how about that Ryan McLeod? He's been an absolute stud. Cannot believe Edmonton gave up on this guy in the way that they did. Jack Quinn is still finding ways to improve and get his numbers up there. Josh Doan has been a really great replacement for J.J. Peterka. Matthias Samuelsson, I know everybody likes to talk crap about Samuelsson, but the amount of shots that this guy blocks and the recent production that he had been able to exhibit as well, it's really making me think that out of all these guys in Buffalo, nobody is a passenger. Sure, you have guys that don't really produce all too much, but they still have a role. Beck Malenstein, solid energy depth guy. Owen Power, he's 14th on the team in points, but he's got 24 points. That's pretty all right. And doing all this with Josh Norris missing half the year is quite the feat, I would say. So for Rasmus Dahlin, the lean, mean Swedish machine, going out there and bullying opposition, whilst being a part of a team that has done the best 40-game stretch since the 95-96 Red Wings, Buffalo, y'all gotta take a bow. You're one of the best teams in the league. All it took was Jarmo Kekalainen to get things started, wasn't it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Rasmus Dahlin's mean streak, the Buffalo Sabres' run to success, and where you see this heading this season in the playoffs, and potentially for the next 2 decades. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.